going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here for SmackDown on Off the Script. It is Friday, February 14th, 2020. And I gotta give it to you, Bruce. I gotta give it to you, Mr. Pritchard. For the first time since the debut episode of SmackDown on Fox, SmackDown had a show that wasn't offensive to the viewing audience at home. Now, whatever happened to Otis was very offensive, but minus that one little hiccup. This was actually a good show tonight. Don't tell anybody I said that. JD, are you feeling okay? Is what you're probably asking right now. Yes, I'm fine, clowns. I'm fine. Listen. I have stood my ground with SmackDown on Fox. Every single week I come on here since the debut that I absolutely hated, by the way. That show sucked. It was garbage. Every single week following that debut on Fox, I've come on here and said the same thing. This show is an absolute abomination. This show is abysmal. This show is the worst TV show in the world. This show is the worst wrestling program in the industry right now. It is downright pathetic. It's sad. It is completely nauseating to watch. You name it. Any negativity that you could possibly think of was spewed in front of this camera and in front of this microphone for months. Months. And I sit here today and I actually seen a glimmer of a good show from SmackDown. I don't know what it was tonight. Maybe Bruce was in a loving mood. Maybe Brother Love came out and wanted to show us that he really does care about us. Is that what it was, Bruce? I doubt it. Maybe it was the Canadian fans. I don't know, man. You guys brought it tonight, let me tell you. If more crowds are like that on Friday night, maybe I wouldn't be here shitting on the show. But this show was a mixed bag of everything. Got some good wrestling. You got some really entertaining storylines. And you got Otis and Mandy and WWE pulling on the heartstrings of everybody. Oh, man. If you didn't shed a tear for Otis, man, I don't think you're a human being. If you didn't really feel bad for Otis, I don't know, man. You're not living a normal life. Everybody has been through that same typical situation where you think you got your girl and another guy swoops on in and he's just a lot better looking than you and he's just a lot better overall than you, and then you just stand there defeated. You don't want to hear or see anybody ever again, man. You want to cower into a fucking corner somewhere, bury your head under the pillow, and not even look at the sunlight peering through your window. Just want to sit there in complete fucking darkness. We've all been there. Otis is feeling that tonight, if Dolph Ziggler had anything to say about it. This was a good show tonight, man. There was a lot on this show that I enjoyed. Carmella and Bayley, they gave you a match that I completely did not expect for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And for the first time in what seems like forever, I'm actually going to praise what WWE did tonight and what they're planning on doing going into Super Showdown with these women that are now revolving around Bayley's SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't know what happened. I don't know if a light bulb went off in their head. I don't know if this is a spur-of-the-moment thing. I don't know if they're going to go back to shitting the bed next week, but for whatever reason, they came out and gave you logic tonight. I don't know why. Again, maybe Brother Love was running the show and not Bruce Pritchard. I don't fucking know. But I liked what Bayley and Carmella did. And then adding Naomi, making this a three-way for the Women's Championship. I don't know. Somehow it worked. It worked tonight. We'll talk about it. Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin. This is still a thing. I don't know why. Every time Baron Corbin and Roman Reigns are on screen together, Brother Love pitches a fucking tent in his cheap dollar store suit. So I know this is some weird fetish by Bruce Pritchard to get these guys on the show. I'm still wondering where the fuck Ali is. This is what, the 8th week in a row? I know he's hiding in the Batcave somewhere. Maybe I really do have to investigate. Maybe we really should call Alfred. Or maybe the Riddler has him held captive somewhere. Riddle me this, Batman. Where is Mustafa Ali? I don't fucking know. I don't know. But Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin, still a thing. Still a thing. No matter what Roman Reigns is doing, you can hide him behind a mystery partner. It doesn't matter. Baron Corbin will be there. Baron Corbin will be there. Roman Reigns could be fucking his wife on Valentine's Day. Baron Corbin's going to be standing in the corner, looming in the shadows, with his fucking crown on. That's the type of shit that Bruce Pritchard's going for. I don't know. I don't know what it is. So we got Roman Reigns and a mystery partner, which ended up being Daniel Bryan tonight against Miz and Morrison, Team D-List, on SmackDown in the main event, which was actually quite enjoyable. We'll talk about that as well. And I know I pitched an idea about Daniel Bryan getting involved here with the Universal Championship after Bray Wyatt disposes of Goldberg, hopefully. Could we be seeing a JD idea infiltrate WrestleMania? We'll see what happens there, and we'll keep a close eye on that. Bray Wyatt wanted to be in the NWO, at least for one night, mocking a returning Hulk Hogan. And we'll go over why Hulk Hogan was on the show, and we'll go over what Bray Wyatt said to Hulk Hogan, who was obviously at his beach shop in Tampa, Florida. No, Hulk Hogan is not coming back to the ring, thank God, but he was there for one reason and one reason only, and we'll go over that in what I thought was a very enjoyable Firefly Funhouse. Sami Zayn is a gem. I gotta let this be known to everybody. Sami Zayn is a gem. He is a fucking national treasure. Week in and week out, Sami Zayn is the best thing about SmackDown on Fox. No question. No question. And man, he is a great ukulele player. Much better than that clown Elias. Just letting you know right now. Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Elias, and Braun Strowman, mostly the other three and not Braun Strowman, they had an absolutely nuclear segment tonight. And it was all orchestrated by the best, I guess, heel, or the best on the microphone on this brand, Sami Zayn. So we're going to go over that as well. And then Mandy and Otis and Dolph Ziggler and all that romantic shit that left Otis heartbroken. This was actually a very good show. Not a lot to shit on. And the only real negative to this show was the fact that we were teased all night about Otis and Mandy. And then we ended up getting Dolph Ziggler and a 30-second sit-down dinner. That's all we got. So that's the only negative I could see out of this show. Otherwise, I thought this was a thumbs-up episode of SmackDown on Fox. We're going to go over it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me here on the podcast. Follow me on social media. Thank you guys for tweeting along with me tonight at JD from NY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow me all over social media, especially those two, and I appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to check out all the other content, and there's plenty of it, Monday Night Raw, AEW Dynamite, NXT, Off the Script Extra on Thursday night, and then a 2-hour Off the Script episode for episode 313 to start this takeover weekend. That link and all those other links will be down below in the description. Go and check that out. The main story for Off the Script was, my opinion, of course, John Cena and Goldberg is a huge mistake, if the rumors are to be believed. That is the looming rumor for his WrestleMania match. Not what I would do, bro, and certainly not the right decision. What is the right decision? You just gotta go and watch it. Tomorrow's even better. AJ Styles and The Undertaker is being rumored for WrestleMania. What do I think is an even better match for AJ Styles? What do I think is an even better match for The Undertaker at WrestleMania? And something that I would much rather see than those two in the ring. We go over everything, why I'm not interested in that match, why I don't think it'll work, why I don't think WWE can even do anything to get me invested in that, and what they should really do with AJ Styles and The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You're not going to want to miss that episode tomorrow. On top of that, the reason has finally been exposed. about why Michelle Wilson and George Barrios have been fired by Vince McMahon. That's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Make sure you look out for that on the channel. So thank you guys so very much for that. SmackDown opened up with complete garbage. Complete garbage. I barely even want to talk about this shit. I was ready to pick up the remote control. Soon as her music hits, I want to change the channel. She is absolutely just... This segment is actually nothing more than a bathroom break. A moment of piss is when we all get up from our couches and walk over to the bathroom and just let the fucking lizard go to work. It's awful. Bleed the lizard. It is downright awful. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross were on stage. They talked about their celebrity crushes. Nikki said hers was Brad Pitt, but it sounded like Brad Putt. And Corey Graves said that he didn't know who Brad Putt was. Is he a famous golfer? I don't know. He wondered if he was a famous golfer, like I said. Cross introduced Carmella as their guest. Now, they were teasing celebrity guests, and Alexa Bliss is now dating some fucking loser, some pop star, some pretty boy looking schmuck, and they were teasing her, saying her celebrity crush, because the story is that she's dating somebody that when she was younger, she had a celebrity crush on, and now, believe it or not, she's dating her celebrity crush. So that's the whole story behind that. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. So out came Carmella. She danced out there, and I just wanted to change the channel. But I was hoping that this would be a quick passing storm. Bliss said she's happy to see Carmella. She's happy for Carmella. But some might say her victory is a surprise because they haven't heard much from her lately. Same thing that I've been reiterating for months now. Carmella said people love surprises. I was surprised that this show was actually good. So yeah, I like surprises. She said she'll shock Bayley later when she becomes a SmackDown champion, women's champion, and remind everybody why Mella is money. Terrible impersonation. I'm sorry. I apologize. Bliss brought up a social media back and forth between them. Then they flashed pictures on the screen of the two getting along during their friendship. I do know that when Carmella was in NXT, that her and Bayley were actually roommates. This was the Enzo Amore, or actually no, she was dating Big Cass. Enzo was dating Liv Morgan. How, I don't know. But yeah, these were the Big Cass days. When Carmella was dating Big Cass and Bayley was down in NXT as well. They were living together while they were living in Orlando. They were roommates. So they show pictures of that and how friendly they were back in the day. So Bliss asked what happened. Carmella said, Sasha happened. Sasha Banks. She said it sucks because they were such good friends. She said it hurts Bayley doesn't want to be her friend. So Bliss began to say something to Carmella, and then Bayley comes out on cue with her theme music and everything. Again, with these segments, I don't know why you just don't come out with the microphone. Why do you need your theme music blaring on the PA system? It's like, bro, okay, you're not wrestling a match. You are out there to just get into a back and forth promo with Carmella. You don't need your theme music going off. It's so stupid. It really is. It irritates the shit out of me. Just come out there and express yourself via the microphone. You don't need the theme music going off. So Bayley came out. She said at one time she saw something in Carmella, and she thought she could show her the ropes and how to be a role model and a leader. Bliss was going to say something here, but Bayley cut her off and called Alexa Bliss a pipsqueak. That's the tamest of jokes that I'm sure Bayley would just kind of throw onto Alexa Bliss. Bayley then bragged about beating Bliss and Nikki Cross in a handicap match last summer. That's how I know nobody can touch Bayley. She's asking the fans, do you remember that? Do you remember when I beat Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss in a handicap match? Honey, no. No, and my God, nobody wants to remember those days. They were awful. They were awful. So Carmella got in Bayley's face and said she wants Bayley to put her money where her mouth is. She says, right now is the time to do it. Let's do it right here, right now. She marched to the ring. Her music played again. And we were getting a women's championship match right here on the spot. I question why this was starting the show. This was awful. This segment was awful. And then we got this match. Bayley versus Carmella. SmackDown Women's Championship match to open the show. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. I hate this division. Don't know where Sasha Banks is. Don't know when she's coming back. I don't know if she wants to come back. I mean, look at the state of this fucking division. Why would she want to come back? Her and Bayley are easily the best that SmackDown has to offer. Naomi is good. Carmella really isn't all that. Dana Brooke, forget about it. I mean, she's still hoarding baked potatoes and catering, And Lacey Evans, please. Please, I don't need to hear from Lacey Evans. Every time I see Lacey Evans, I have a feeling she's going to break down and fucking cry in front of everybody. And I just don't give a shit. I really don't care. I don't. But Bayley and Carmella, this match, I got to give it props, man. This was awesome. This was a really, really good match. I've said before in the past that Carmella has shown signs of improvement. Now, she was completely garbage back when she first won the SmackDown Women's Championship, when she won Money in the Bank. She really didn't do anything. When she was a heel, and she was going over the likes of Asuka, and that whole James Ellsworth thing, just absolutely nauseating to watch. Then when she turned babyface, she somehow started to just get a little bit better in the ring, and I seen that. I'm like, well, Carmella's not that bad. She showed signs of improvement every time she got out there and performed. And I'm looking at this match when this match was over after the 13 minutes had gone by, and I'm watching her go back and forth with Bayley. This could be the majority of what Bayley does to somebody. Bayley's good enough to enhance somebody like a Carmella. Who knows if this was all on Bayley, but I gotta give Carmella her props too, because, every Bayley needs a decent dance partner. Carmella kept up. Carmella didn't miss a beat. Carmella didn't botch. Carmella didn't look out of place. Carmella looked like she absolutely belonged in that moment, in that match, in that ring with Bayley tonight. This might have been the best Carmella match that I think she's ever had. Period. And I don't want to jump the gun here because it is Carmella, and I don't really look at Carmella in that way. But I would love if WWE continued to give these types of women these types of opportunities. Because who knows what you got unless you send them out there and let them do what they have to do. I love one of the best things about watching pro wrestling and watching NXT and watching people come up from the PC and move on to NXT, or whether it's watching NXT UK and see them show up on NXT and just graduate step by step by step, moving up the ladder, and watching them perform in the ring and watching them on the microphone. And you watch them progress week by week, month by month, year by year, and you can go back and just visually think, wow, this person has come a long way. This person is much better now than they were. I want to see that with Carmella. I want to see that with a lot of these women. WWE just doesn't give them the opportunity to do that. And I'm very happy that they allowed these women to go out there and give us close to 15 minutes in a title match. This made the title feel important tonight. Not only that, but the crowd was invested in it because the near falls at the end, people wanted to see Carmella win the championship. That wouldn't have been the right decision, but everything that they did, the ending, the crowd interaction, and the way that they let these women go out there and really have a sense of urgency, it made the championship feel, for the first time in a very long time, somewhat important. And what WWE did after the match was even better. So, when everybody expects to watch me on a show like this, or a podcast like this, a video like this, and you expect me to shit on it, I guarantee you guys were expecting me to shit on this, but I'm not. I can't. I wouldn't be doing my job as a fair analyst or fair, critique of SmackDown if I just came on here and shit on something that was obviously very good. And I don't know what else you want me to say in regards to that, because take this and what we've seen tonight and compare it to everything else that we've seen with the women's division on this show. This was leaps and bounds the best thing in fucking months. This was the best women's match in months on SmackDown. There's no way anybody could hate on this. You got to start giving them props when you see something like this. So let's fast forward to the end of this thing. Bayley had Carmella, and she yanked Carmella's neck over the top rope. So Carmella knocked Bayley off the top rope and then kicked her in the head. Bayley slumped over. Carmella took a Hurricane Rana to Bayley for a near fall. Quick, went right for the cover. So Carmella scored 2 leverage pinfall attempts after that. Bayley tried to come back with a backslide attempt, which then turned into a small package. So they traded pinning combinations. And again, Carmella did not miss a beat during any of this. Fans were booing. And Carmella then super kicked Bayley, and Bayley rolled out to the floor. Fans hated this. And that's a smart move by the heel. That just goes to show you that A, Bayley knows what she's doing, and C, or A, and then B, I'm all over the place tonight. A, shows what Bayley's doing, and B, it shows you that she is much smarter than Carmella. And I love that. I love when I see heels do that. Roll out of the ring after the babyface thinks they have the opportunity, and she rolls out to the ring. I love that. So fans were shitting all over this. Carmella applied a code of silence, and that was what happened when they were back in the ring together. Code of silence, and I loved Bayley trying to reach for the rope and then realized she couldn't reach for the rope, and then with the hold applied, figured out in that hold how to break the hold. She just knocked Carmella's arm out from underneath itself, and the hold was broken. That was awesome. The breakage of the code of silence was awesome by Bayley. Bayley leverage pinned Carmella down, and that was it. And she leverage pinned with her feet on the ropes, and she got out of a near sticky situation to retain the women's championship. 13 minutes. This was very good. The best Carmella has looked in a WWE ring ever. And I got to give her props. Bayley then attacked Carmella from behind afterwards. Then she grabbed her title. And Naomi then came out and pronounced that she wants Bayley next. She got in Bayley's face. She started yelling at Bayley. Let's do it. Time is now. So after that, Carmella and Naomi kick Bayley, sent her out to the floor, and obviously Carmella and Naomi feel like they both deserve a championship. Naomi wants Bayley, and then Carmella obviously wants Bayley after she got cheated out of the championship. So what WWE did here was give us a women's championship match that was very good, made the championship feel important. WWE had Bayley cheat to win, get heel heat on the champion here, and Bayley. They set up Naomi for being the next in line for the championship, and they keep Carmella looking strong in defeat by that cheap leverage pin while also keeping her in the title hunt. And next week, WWE proclaimed that Carmella and Naomi will have a match to determine who goes on to Super Showdown to fight Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's like it's being constructed in the last 3 weeks, but it all makes sense. And WWE did a lot of right in this one match. And I can't really shit on that. So I thought this was awesome. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, holy shit, things are making sense. Bruce, you're making sense, bro. Please. More of that. More of that. I thought this was awesome. So we go from that, and they replayed what happened with Naomi, Carmella, and Bayley. Then backstage, Kayla Braxton interviewed Bayley, who was throwing a tantrum. She said next time she defends her title, it'll be at Super Showdown. So we got that confirmation that the women will be at Super Showdown. And she doesn't care who her opponent is because nobody can touch her. So we go from that, and we see Otis getting all dolled up for his date. He's combing his hair. His phone goes off. His text message goes off. He's texting Mandy with some emojis. Tucker walked up to him. Otis said Mandy is running late, which gives him more time to get ready. but also more time to be nervous. Otis asked Tucker if he's crazy to think Mandy might actually like him. Tucker said, if Mandy deserves you, she will like him for all that he has to offer. And then Otis said, yeah, tonight is the night. And he kissed Tucker on his forehead. So there you go. This was the biggest thing on the show tonight. Otis and fucking Mandy and their date on Valentine's Day was the biggest thing on this show tonight. Sheamus, he's in the ring, and he has defeated Shorty G. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, Chad, Gable, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, I gotta get myself one of these. I keep doing it. I'm sorry, bro. Chad Gable! Sheamus has defeated Chad Gable twice. I made him look like a fool last week. And Apollo Cruz. Who? Oh, Apollo Cruz. Wasn't he with Titus in Titus Worldwide? Wasn't he? Worldwide. What does that mean? He's an executive chef. That's what that fucking means in catering. Apollo Cruz is putting down the fucking chef's hat, and he's putting down the fucking utensils to go out there and perform for us tonight on SmackDown, man. Thank you, Apollo. Thank you. Apollo Cruz lost to Sheamus in what? 60 seconds last week? Oh, great. Now we get Apollo and Chad Gable in the same match. They're both individual losers. Now they could be losers together. On Valentine's Day. Oh, Bruce, you're spreading the love, bro. You're spreading the love. Two losers now sharing in their fucking dismal SmackDown careers. Oh, that's good enough for a Hallmark card. Sheamus versus Apollo Cruz and Chad Gable. Took Sheamus 4 minutes to dispose of these two caliber athletes. 4 minutes. Then on commentary, Michael Cole is praising Apollo Cruz, the ultra-talented Apollo Cruz. The fuck are you talking about? Ultra-talented. Ultra-talented? A guy that's been on the fucking show one time in the last year and a half? How the fuck would you know ultra-talented? In the ring? No. In catering? I heard he makes a mean brown gravy. Pour that shit on fucking mashed potatoes, on green beans. You're good to go, bro. Good to go. He's got a secret recipe that he won't fucking spread around the locker room. Ultra talented. And where is Mustafa Ali? Really? I'm wondering. I'm getting quite concerned at this juncture. Maybe we should take a fucking trip to Gotham City and look for the Batcave somewhere. I don't know. I guarantee you, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to throw this out there right now. I guarantee you somebody from WWE's watching this shit, and they're asking, well, JD wants Mustafa Ali on the show, Bruce. Can we get Mustafa Ali on the show? He thinks Mustafa Ali's a great talent. He should be pushed on SmackDown. Bruce is going to sign off on next week's show, and he's going to put Mustafa Ali in a match with Sheamus, and Sheamus is going to bro kick this guy in about 60 seconds, and there, Bruce is going to be like, there. Have we made him happy? There's Mustafa Ali. Maybe Bruce has something against those named Mustafa. Or maybe it's Ali. Maybe they don't really like the style of match that Ali works. Maybe they don't like that he's from Chicago. Maybe they don't like that he is a Batman enthusiast. Maybe they're jealous of his butler skills. It's exactly what's going to fucking happen next week. Sheamus is going to kick this guy's fucking head off, and then he's going to retreat back to the Batcave where Alfred's going to tend to his wounds while he serves a fucking sparkling water with lemon. Here you go, sir. Give me a fucking break. Unreal. Sheamus in 4 minutes over these two fucking bums. Bro kick, and that was it. Loser 1, loser 2, double loser together. Kayla interviewed Carmella backstage. This was actually a good promo by Carmella as well. She said she doesn't want a handout, but she deserves a rematch. She looked at the camera and asked management and Fox to give her a rematch. She promised she'd become the next SmackDown Women's Champion. They showed Mandy arriving at the restaurant for her date with Otis, Hulk Hogan, Don't know why Hulk Hogan was there and why this was a late addition to the show. I guess they needed or came to a conclusion that they needed to push the match with Bray Wyatt. Oh, we can't take a week off. We got to somehow continue this storyline because Bill can't make it to Canada. He's got a bunch of cars that need oil changes and maybe a tire rotation. You know? Yes, because Goldberg is being paid $2 million to get a Universal Championship match, and he can't even make it to fucking Canada because he's got to do a fucking tire rotation on his 67 Mustang. Cole interviewed Hogan. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And the Vancouver crowd was very wishy-washy with Hulk, the Hulkster. 50-50 split. Talked about the NWO being honored at the WWE Hall of Fame. That's really strong, he says. He said Hulkamania set the business on fire. And I guarantee you Hogan in the beach shop is watching clips of him in 1990 doing his thing. Oh, I wish I could go back to those days. You know? He set the business on fire and the NWO took it to a whole new level. Cole brought up Goldberg, one of his top rivals when he was in the NWO. He asked him whether Goldberg has a shot against The Fiend in 2 weeks. He said he's been in the ring with Goldberg, and he told The Fiend to try and survive. And then obviously Bray Wyatt interrupted. Bray Wyatt walked onto the Firefly Funhouse, and we seen an advertisement that is very similar to the NWO. This is a paid advertisement by the Firefly Funhouse. So that was on the screen in black and white. Bray Wyatt comes guitaring into scene. He's playing guitar on the Universal Championship. He tore off his t-shirt, and this is something that I'd actually wear because it was pretty cool. His t-shirt said, "Not cool to eat your friends," with Mercy the Buzzard eating fucking Rambling Rabbit. There you go. Look at that. WWE can come up with a solid design for a t-shirt for those who they want a solid t-shirt design for. Unbelievable. So he said he's been taking his vitamins. Then Huskus the Pig showed up. Bray says he's talking with his buddy about Hogan, about eating right. Something he wouldn't know about. Bray offered Huskus chocolate and then fed it to him and said, "I hope it's not too sweet." And then Bray started laughing. Hogan said, "Yeah, Bray, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. But when you get in the ring with Goldberg, that's no joke." I'll tell you what is a joke. Bruce Pritchard. Ha 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 ha. SmackDown. Ha 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 ha. Vince McMahon. Ha 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 ha. The stock being down. Ha 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 ha. Oh, man, I can keep going on and on, man. Lacey Evans. Humberto Carrillo. Rollins run as champion. Oh, man. Enough. Where am I, man? Hogan says Bray's a funny guy. When he gets in the ring with Goldberg, it's going to be no joke. He wished him luck. Wish me luck every fucking Friday watching this show. Bray says he doesn't need luck because he has a fiend. There you go. If you're not careful, brother, please remember there can always be room for one more. And he had a portrait of Hulk Hogan doing his thing. And he had his eyes X'd out. So he's going to place Hogan on the Funhouse wall. Hogan got upset at this. And he took his earpiece out, walked off set at the beach shop via satellite. And Hogan said he'd see him in Tampa for the Hall of Fame. So Bray showed a framed picture of Hogan. And Bray waved and said he'd see Goldberg very soon. This was actually one of the better Firefly Funhouses. They've actually been doing pretty decent with the Funhouses. They've been quite enjoyable over the last couple of weeks. The one with Goldberg last week was pretty good as well. And then this one was fun. It makes me wonder, though. Hogan said that he'll see Bray in Tampa for the Hall of Fame. Is something going to happen there at the Hall of Fame with Bray and Hogan? I don't know. I hope not. I hope I don't see Bray Wyatt and Hulk Hogan anywhere near a ring or anywhere together on the same stage. I don't care. Hogan was only there because Goldberg was too busy fucking looking at an engine. That's all the reason why he was there on this show. Hogan was there because Goldberg couldn't make it. Goldberg wasn't, or I guess they didn't want to pay Goldberg to show up. So they realized, well, we need something to continue this feud on the show. So let's bring back one of Goldberg's old nemesises, and we will continue this with Hogan, who will hype up Goldberg and hype up the match with The Fiend and tell Bray Wyatt how Goldberg is menacing and dominating and you're going to need luck and blah, blah, blah. So that's what they did. Through Hulk Hogan, they got Goldberg over for this match in Saudi Arabia without Goldberg being there in Canada. So that's that. That's all it was. It was a fun segment. It did the job. And I hope I don't see Hogan and Bray Wyatt anywhere near a WWE ring. Cesaro and Sami Zayn. This was probably the best thing on the show to me. Sami Zayn had a ukulele. He said he was going to perform a protest song in tradition of great protest singers like Bob Dylan and Billy Bragg. Oh, I thought that you were protesting SmackDown because this show is fucking garbage. That's what I would be protesting, but I wouldn't be playing a ukulele. I wouldn't be playing a ukulele whatsoever, bro. Maybe I get my brother to fucking play in the ring and we could just jam out with Legionary, you know? So he says he's going to perform a protest. He asked for silence. Clearly, nobody was going to give him silence. So this is a heel's way of garnering heat, which is always great. Sami tried to get the right pitch going on the ukulele and on his voice. He's trying to hit that right note. He was about to play with Cesaro, who was holding a cowbell, ready to join in. And Elias actually interrupted somebody. Elias finally felt what it's like to interrupt someone else. So he walked out and introduced himself. He said he was in the back taking a nap, something that I wish I was doing on this night during this show most of the time. But he got a phone call from a friend who said he had to stop this. So he said Sami is trying to use him to make a name for himself. He said there is a universal truth that WWE stands for Walk with Elias. Sami asked who the hell he thinks he is interrupting their protest concert that the world is waiting for. Elias says that's why he's out here. He says he's staging a counter-protest. Sami said on any other night, he'd have his security guards throw his ass out of the building and rough him up a little bit as well. He told security to let Elias enter the ring. So Elias entered the ring, and he sat on the top turnbuckle, waiting for this protest concert to continue with Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Sami told him to listen close. Cesaro started ringing the cowbell really obnoxiously, completely out of tune, and he just wanted to ring the cowbell. That's all he wanted to do. He was excited to ring the fucking cowbell, and that was it. That's all he wanted to do. I don't look at Cesaro and look at musician. I don't. So he wanted to ring the cowbell, and that's all he wanted to do, offbeat. Maybe we should get him a metronome. So fans were just screaming at Sami. They were just completely disruptive in this situation. Oh, walk with Elias. Chant was starting. Oh, walk with Elias. Which was great. Got to give Canada its props, man. This crowd was awesome, especially for this segment. So obviously Sami Zayn, the heel, told them to shut up while he exercises his right of free speech. He demanded their respect. Sami and Cesaro tried again. Cesaro got a little bit too into the cowbell again, and Sami said, bro, I need a little less cowbell, please. So in typical heel fashion, Cesaro took the cowbell and threw the cowbell out of the ring. No more fucking cowbell. There was actually a hashtag more cowbell during this segment. Gotta love it. So Sami strummed some more, and the fans wanted more cowbells, and they actually chanted, we want cowbells. Cesaro threw the cowbell because he's a fucking dick and he knows how to play a heel, and I love it. Threw the cowbell out of the ring and waved his arms that he was done. He stood there with his arms crossed. So fans booed. Sami started to strum his ukulele, and Cesaro clapped instead, and he was on beat this time. He got the rhythm down. So fans were starting to sing again, oh, walk with Elias. Sami threatened to cancel the concert if they didn't shut their mouths, which I loved, because everybody wants this concert canceled, but Sami's the only one in the building that thinks that these fans want this concert. I want it too, Sami. Don't worry about it. I love for you to stage a protest, not only for Elias, but on this fucking show. So he asked if they thought this was a joke. Cesaro made a move towards Elias. Elias fought back, and then a brawl ensued. Sami and Cesaro double-teamed Elias. Braun Strowman came out, marched to the ring. Braun plowed through Sami Zayn's security because he can run fast, like a locomotive. And a security guy stepped in his way. So Elias and Braun tossed this guy over the top rope. Sami Zayn, by the way, was being chased, and this guy actually put his neck on the line to save Sami Zayn. While this guy put his neck on the line for Sami Zayn and Cesaro, they escaped. So this guy was caught dead to rights, and Elias and Braun Strowman threw this guy out of the ring. And normally, I don't like anything regarding Braun Strowman, but whoever this jobber was, whoever this guy was in the ring, man, oh man, did he sell this fucking segment where he got tossed over the ropes. He made this look like the biggest fucking hip toss I have ever seen. And I hope that Braun Strowman went to the back. I hope that Elias went to the back and they gave this guy a fucking high five. He made that look 1,000 times better than what it was going to end up looking like. I don't know who he is, where he came from. He probably works as a fucking dishwasher somewhere in some local diner in Canada. I don't know. But this guy made this segment here, the hip toss from Strowman and Elias, fucking just epic. That looked fantastic. I hope Strowman and Elias gave that guy his props because he made that hip toss look fucking great. This segment was awesome. I usually hate shit like this, but I tell you, week in and week out, Sami Zayn is a fucking gem. This guy's a legend, Sami Zayn. He's just fucking awesome. And he's the best heel on SmackDown when it comes to working that microphone. It is a crime that WWE is not doing more with Sami Zayn. It really, really, really is. I want to see more. I want to see these guys dominate. They got literally everything. They got the mouthpiece. They got Nakamura, who could be fucking vicious if built up the right way. Legit if built up the right way. They got Cesaro, who's underutilized. My God. And you got the Revival, who weren't on their show. I don't know, man. It's just a missed opportunity. It really is. At first, I didn't like it, but the more I see it, the more it gels with me. It's a missed opportunity. I don't know. I wish WWE would do more. Kayla interviewed Naomi. She said she's tired of Bayley and what happened to Carmella was unfair, but she wants the title shot because Bayley has never beat her. She said she is the next SmackDown Women's Champion. So they booked the match for next week. Carmella and Naomi, number one contender. I like it. I like it. We see Mandy sitting at the table, and Otis is leaving. Otis is getting ready to go meet Mandy at this restaurant. Cole then said that Bayley would be defending her title at Super Showdown against either Carmella and Naomi. Like I said, number one contender match next week. Goldberg will be on SmackDown next week live in Phoenix, and then they promoted John Cena and his return to SmackDown in 2 weeks. Otis showed up at the restaurant. He strutted in. He was wearing a cutoff, I guess, tuxedo jacket. Looks like he had a button-down shirt that was completely fucked up underneath. I think he had a bow tie on as well. His hair was all combed back and wet. He looked good. He had roses. He looked good. So Otis showed up at the restaurant. Do you know where my peach is? He asked the guy standing there, the concierge, I guess. And he pointed over there. So she was sitting down. And before this, we see Dolph Ziggler, a hand, come over Mandy Rose's right shoulder. She looks up, it's Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler sits down next to Mandy Rose. Then in walks Otis. He asks the concierge guy, where's my peach? He looks over, right over there, sir. And she sees him sitting with Dolph Ziggler. Now, Otis was getting ready, texting Mandy. He was brushing his hair. He was checking his breath. He walked into the restaurant with roses. He was trying to figure out what type of walk he should do to go walk it up to the table. He was so nervous. And then he gets there. He sees Mandy sitting at the table with another guy. He sees that guy as Dolph Ziggler. And the look on his face was absolutely heartbreaking. He takes the roses and he just drops them on the ground. and he walks out with his head down, out of the restaurant. If you didn't feel some sort of fucking sadness or sorrow, if you felt like, if you felt a tear waiting to come down your face, man, I wouldn't blame you. This was heartbreaking to watch Otis just walk up on this most important day, wanting to eat dinner with Mandy Rose, and he sees Dolph Ziggler sitting there. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is the fact that they've promoted this for weeks, and they promoted it all night, and we get Dolph Ziggler eating dinner with Mandy Rose. That's the only thing I didn't like. More Otis and more Mandy. What does this mean? I know a lot of people were disappointed in this, but I think a lot of people are now at a point where they want to see Dolph Ziggler get his ass kicked and Otis get his revenge for this shit. Who knows what Otis is going to say to Mandy? Who knows what Otis is going to do to Dolph? We don't know. This works in more positive ways than it does negative. The only negative here was that it was built all over these weeks, the last couple of weeks, and we get this. It felt very kind of, we're going to give you this, and then we get that, and we're left like, that's it? That's all we got? But when Mandy has to explain what happened, everybody's going to fucking hate on her. And Dolph is sitting there. He's going to get his ass kicked eventually by Otis. The one thing that a lot of people are probably wondering is how did Dolph Ziggler know that Mandy was in this particular restaurant, quote unquote, in this particular restaurant, and what time Mandy was having dinner with Otis? Somebody clearly filled Dolph Ziggler in on this. That has to be the story. It has to be. Now, did Dolph ask Mandy himself? Did Dolph kind of eavesdrop on a Mandy and Otis conversation? Did he eavesdrop on a Mandy and Sonya conversation? We don't know. We don't know what the next detail in this storyline is. Maybe Dolph went right to Sonya, and Sonya is the culprit here, who is playing everybody because she wants Mandy. I don't know. All I know is I felt pain for Otis. All I know is I want to see Otis beat the living shit out of Dolph Ziggler. And who knows what's going to happen to Mandy Rose and Otis at this point. Maybe at this point he gives up. Maybe this is exactly what Sonya wants. Otis defeated and nothing to do with Mandy anymore because she wants Mandy. You know that's where it's leading. You know this is where it's going. It's going to be some sort of lesbian storyline here between Mandy and Sonya Deville. Sonya's going to come out and express her love for Mandy Rose, and she don't want Mandy with Otis because she loves Mandy. But who told Dolph? How did Dolph know what was going on? I don't know. The other thing that I'm worried about is I hope that WWE does not break up Heavy Machinery. Because Otis is clearly the star of the show. Otis is getting the most spotlight and the most shine, and Tucker's just playing second fiddle. I hope that's not the case. I hope that this is just Heavy Machinery being Heavy Machinery, and this is just with Otis and Mandy right now. But it's going to be very interesting, man. I want to hate it because we didn't get enough of it, but I'm more intrigued about how Dolph knew that Mandy was there at that particular restaurant and at that specific time. It's got to be a little nugget of information there where he found out and how he found out and who he found out from. That's what I hope we just have going into next week's show. Some good stuff. This is a silly storyline, a real life storyline because we've all been there, but it's amazing how this is the most important thing on the show that everybody has the most interest in. And we got Goldberg and Bray Wyatt for the Universal fucking Championship at Super Showdown. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. So, Roman Reigns and a mystery partner versus Miz and Morrison. And Baron Corbin was suspended for the night. He was not allowed in the arena, in the venue, because of what he did to that fan last week where he dumped soda on him. Can we get more of Baron Corbin being suspended, please? That would be fucking great. So Reigns chose Daniel Bryan as his mystery partner against the Miz and Morrison. Now, two things here. Daniel Bryan makes sense because of his feud with the Miz, clearly. That's the right partner for Roman Reigns. Now, does this mean that Daniel Bryan is going to be hovering around the main event? We don't know. We don't know. I did pitch a storyline or an angle to happen at the Elimination Chamber. If Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns are in the Elimination Chamber, I would have it come down to those two. I said this on the podcast. I would have it come down to those two. I would have Bray Wyatt, lights go out, lights come back on. He's in the cage with Bryan and Roman, the last two in the Elimination Chamber. And he's Sister Abigail'd Bray Wyatt did to Daniel Bryan. He's Sister Abigail's Daniel Bryan. Knocks him out. Maybe he throws him in a pod. Maybe he locks him up. And he's giving this match to Roman. Because he's disposed of Daniel Bryan. The Fiend wants nothing more with Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan came within an inch of beating the Fiend. The Fiend has disposed of him. He doesn't want to see Daniel Bryan anymore, but Daniel Bryan keeps fighting. So he's giving Roman Reigns this match at the Elimination Chamber. He's helping Roman. He wants to help change Roman at the Elimination Chamber. But Roman won't pin Daniel Bryan that way. He won't do what Bray Wyatt wants. He wants to do the honorable thing. And we don't get a winner for the Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns walks out. Roman Reigns walks out. Come SmackDown on Friday, Roman Reigns addresses the situation and says that he couldn't beat Daniel Bryan in that manner. And we get a triple threat match. He wants Bryan, he wants himself, and he wants the Fiend in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. That is if John Cena and Goldberg and all these other elements are what they are. Maybe that's what we get. Maybe we get John Cena and Goldberg at WrestleMania. Maybe we get The Fiend, Bryan, and Roman in a triple threat match for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. I like it. And as soon as I seen Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, it made me think, Daniel Bryan could still be hovering around the Universal Championship now that he's tagging with Roman Reigns here. Or it could be nothing. It could just be Roman Reigns picking Daniel Bryan because of his affiliation with The Miz. I don't know. The other thing that I thought of was this was brilliant on WWE's behalf because Roman Reigns, nobody's going to boo Roman Reigns when he's standing next to Daniel Bryan. So this was brilliant on WWE's end. If they don't want any negative reaction towards Roman Reigns whatsoever, easy. Pair him with Daniel Bryan, who's the most over babyface on this brand, probably on the main roster. So it looked like a brilliant move by WWE. Also, when you look at Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan standing next to each other, side by side, it's clear as day who's the face of this company. It's not Roman. The reaction that Daniel Bryan got, WWE's got to look at that and be like, holy shit, we wish we could do that for Roman, but you can't. Bryan has been and always will be the face of this company until he is no longer on TV. And that's exactly what they tried to do before Daniel Bryan, went out with injury. They tried to take him off TV. That's exactly what they wanted to do because of this type of reaction. This match was awesome. Baron Corbin wasn't there, and then all of a sudden he walks down and he's showing and waving a fucking show ticket. He's got a ticket to the show. Baron Corbin bought himself a ticket. He goes down to the front row. They give him a big leather chair. He's sitting there, front row, watching this match. Is he going to get involved? Of course he is. Of course he is. So this one went 13 minutes, and Bryan was being beat down. They got heel heat on Daniel Bryan. And hot tagged Reigns. He went to work on The Miz. Clotheslines, 10 of them to The Miz in the corner. Reigns then kicked Miz in the mouth. Reigns then played up to the crowd. He tried to get the heat from the crowd. He set up for his Superman punch. Miz ducked and tagged in Morrison. Morrison landed a springboard roundhouse kick for a 2 count on Reigns. Reigns knocked Morrison out of midair with a Superman punch, which looked great. I don't remember what Morrison did, but it looked nice out of midair with that Superman punch. And Morrison kicked him and then tagged in The Miz. So Miz is back in. He hits a skull-crushing finale on Roman Reigns. Bryan broke up the cover and then knocked Morrison off the ring apron. Bryan then set up for a dive. Miz kicked him as he charged in. Miz then mocked Bryan as he set up the yes kicks. Fans were yelling, no, 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 no. Reigns caught Miz with a Superman punch, and it was barely a Superman punch. It was a no-man punch because Roman Reigns did not connect on this particular Superman punch. He missed him by a good 12 inches. Easy. This was awful. That was, and I guess it's perfect for The Miz, the King of Soft style. Roman Reigns going easy on poor old Mike Mizanin over there on SmackDown. So Cole said Roman didn't get all of it. He didn't get any of it, Cole. You fucking cretin. But he got enough of it. So Reigns then speared Miz and pinned him. Corbin clearly at ringside. Was he going to interfere in the match? Of course he was. He came in, he hit Reigns with the scepter, and then he runs up the ramp where his fucking throne is waiting for him. Are you fucking kidding me? This guy is suspended from... Do you know how ridiculous this looks? There's the one negative of the show, and I'm fucking not letting this go, and don't tell me I'm being overly critical. This is a logic gap. Why? This guy's suspended. He's suspended. He's not a part of the active roster on this very evening. He's a paying customer. They allowed him to sit front row, right? He interjects himself into the match. He hits Reigns with the scepter. He runs up the ramp where his fucking throne is waiting for him. Man, oh man, what a fucking oversight that was. You fucking serious? Man, does WWE look like a bunch of fucking idiots with that closing segment? How is he sitting on a scepter if he's suspended and not supposed to be in the fucking building? He's not a part of the show. Why is his throne waiting for him there? And that was SmackDown. This was a decent show. Gotta admit, probably the best SmackDown in fucking months. I enjoyed most of this show outside of that little logic gap at the end of this show tonight. So that's that. Will it happen again next week? I don't know. Got Carmella and Naomi. Is Daniel Bryan going to be hovering around the main event? We got Goldberg there next week. Is Mustafa Ali going to climb down from fucking a Gotham City building to show face next week? I don't know. So we'll see what happens, man. That's your SmackDown review. If you enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you checked out any of the other content, thank you. If you haven't, if you missed any of the other content, links will be down below in the description of this very video. Make sure you guys go and get your t-shirts. The YWC Messiah. Follow me, my sons and daughters. Bonfire.com. Go and get your t-shirt today. We sold 50 in 2 weeks. Let's make it 100 for the month. Thank you guys for that. And I will see you right back here on Off the Script for Saturday. It's going to be a banger of an episode, man. You don't want to miss it. George Barrios and Michelle Wilson, the real reason why they got fired, and AJ Styles and The Undertaker. We go in depth, and I mean in depth, about why I am not interested in that and what WWE could do to make WrestleMania even more epic instead of an AJ Styles Undertaker match that I just don't think I'm going to be invested in, or I'm not going to be interested in whatever story they are going to tell. So that's tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll be right back here tomorrow with more content on the channel. Till then, have a good night. I'll see you guys right back here on part 2 of episode 313 of OTS. See you then.